Pause. I struggle with these talking clips because it forces me to confront my voice and my face, which, even though as a secure person, I struggle with. But today is April 4th. I wanted to just make a quick clip going down a list of my accomplishments for March. I have done a lot, and I do more than I give myself credit for. I think this will be really great to look back on. So March, I moved from Hawaii to Portland. I packed all of my belongings in 2 duffel bags and a backpack. Once again, a year after having done it, I did it again and came to Portland. So I made Portland happen, and I made Portland happen when I said I was gonna make Portland happen. Just like, again, Hawaii, I made Hawaii happen in the time that I said I was gonna make it happen. I'm really proud of myself for that. I was under so much pressure and stress, and the fact that I actually did it is really fucking cool. I am gonna count this as an accomplishment because I think that it should be looked at like that, not just by me, but by other people for themselves. I took a lot of rest time. When I got here, I didn't have anything in place yet. I was still with Starbucks. The goal / plan in motion-ish was to just transfer to another store here, at least for like a brief amount of time while I look for a restaurant job. But that ended up not happening. I didn't have a job essentially. Even though I technically was with Starbucks, I wasn't working at a Starbucks and accumulating a paycheck my first few weeks here. And so the first 2 weeks essentially were do nothing time. It was, I slept a lot. My sleep schedule was shit because of it, but I slept a lot. Just took time off of corporate capitalistic America. It was really great. When I moved to Hawaii, I started working at a Starbucks there. 3 days. Three days after I moved. So I worked from March 3rd until like a few days before I left. I do think it had a negative effect on my time there. And so I was really happy that the way I set the tone for Portland was focusing on me. That I'm taking as a win and as an accomplishment for March. Next, I signed up for food stamps all on my own. I know I'm 25 and that sounds like a small deal. I've always struggled to a deeper degree with adult stuff. I just have always had to be incentivized essentially or helped to do stuff like that. I just did it myself within the first couple weeks. And then number 4, I touched up my resume and I went out. My roommate drove me around the city to drop off my resume at 7 restaurants. And I'm gonna count that separate from getting the actual job because it was such a process to get the actual job. I now work at Cafe Now, but that was one of 7 restaurants in one day that I dropped my resume off at. And I was good about following up with people. Cafe Now was the one that was open and hiring, was at a good price range as far as like the food pricing, so I knew about how much I was gonna be making in tips. I had to interview 3 times for that job. I hadn't interviewed or applied or had to learn a new skill for any job in like 2.5 years. Props to me. That shit was nerve-wracking, honestly, especially since like when you're poor and your life is on the line, you're desperate, but you don't want to look desperate. I'm really enjoying it so far. I did the things that I wanted to do in March. Oh, whole separate accomplishment. I joined a running group. I have started going to the Portland Running Company's Thursday group run. I've also achieved my 3 best runs, my longest run. I ran 8.5 miles. That's my longest run yet. and I've ran a handful of 5Ks already because that's what we do on Thursday. On my first group run here, I made my personal record and my half mile, my 400 meter sprint, my 100 meter sprint, my half mile, my 1 mile, my 2 mile, my 3 mile, and my 10K on my first group run here. Cheers to that.
Insecure about like, oh, who's really favored in this relationship, or you know, that's kind of how I feel about it. But if
Give me a
all right, we drink.
I have to do my taxes. I've been avoiding my taxes for like over a month, like a month and a half, because I started them and then it started to tell me I owed money, and I was like, also I was like moving, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until I move. I moved and I still didn't do it. I have a yerb and some snacks and some sativa. I'm gonna finally do this. Yeah, it's been a good month so far. I'm getting more in the groove with work. I just booked a plane ticket to go to LA for essentially 4 days, like the last week of the month. So April is shaping up to be pretty cool. Fuck, where to put it? Why did we not have classes on this in school? Because this sucks. This is gonna fog up every 5 seconds. I just ran 4 miles. 4 in 40-degree pouring rain with a short sleeve shirt on. I made my 2 mile and my 5K PR and I got 0 clips. I can't believe I did that. I really, like, genuinely am thinking about it, and I'm like, and I felt like I was in a movie seeing hazy Portland and me like dripping wet, and I was running and I was like, pow, pow, pow. You know, after that I'm like, I truly feel like I could do anything.
And then you throw in toasted pecans, smashed bananas.
I have a 35.
But like has been
I actually just.
It is. Maybe I'm just
Thank you. We can.
No, not the lion.
After 21 years inside.
Where is